you're looking for lines of code, cutting-edge technology, and elite hacking, then watch Mr. Robot, because you're not going to find that here. What you are going to find here in this hacking movie called Hackers is rabbits, flu shots,
Rabbit, flu shot, someone talk to me.
and a 40-year-old man on a skateboard. But actually, this is a really fun movie. And it starts off with our main character, Dade, is a boy genius who can hack into anything. And he does this huge hack, crashing 1,507 computers in one day. The cops raid his house, arrest him, take him away, and then he goes to court. His alias is Zero Cool, and he is a boy genius. And he gets sentenced to 20 years in jail. No, he just can't have a computer for like 10 years. He and his mom moved to New York City. And when he finally can buy a computer, the first thing he does is some hacking. This guy has been jonesing to do some hacking for about 10 years, so it's time to get right down to it. He hacks into a movie channel and puts on this old movie that nobody's ever heard of. And he doesn't realize that he encroached on somebody else's hacking turf, and he gets into a hacking war with the person on the other end, who wants to play their own crappy movie that nobody's ever heard of. And it goes back and forth for a long time. Finally, they ask who he is, and he can't put Zero Cool because that's the world famous name that landed him in trouble, so he puts Crash Override. He gets locked out of the system, and well, that's that. But it's not a big deal, because it's not like he's ever going to see that person again. What do you mean they go to high school together? The next day, it is his first day of school, and he's a little lost. But it's okay, this really lovely woman, girl, helps him find his class. And just in case anybody's confused, this is high school. He's in high school. She's a high school student. He's a high school student. Those people there, they're high school students. That's Dade's mom, high school student. Before he gets into class though, someone says, hey, you should tell him about the pool. And so Kate, a very young 30-year-old high school student, tells him,
yeah, there's an Olympic-sized swimming pool up on the roof.
And he promptly goes to check it out, but gets locked up there with some other students who were also tricked into going upstairs onto the roof. I don't know why they weren't standing by the door, but, you know, they all had walked away, so if somebody walked through, they'd all still be locked out. This young kid here, who actually looks his age, is Joey. And he's in the group, but he's not a true hacker yet. He hasn't really made the cut. So he's really trying.
Joey. Now I try to save you from yourself, but you gotta stop letting your mama dress you, man. You hopeless. Check it Friday.
Dade goes to a club for teenagers. That actually was kind of a thing on the 90s, where there's video games and fun music. And by the way, the soundtrack in this movie is so good, and I'm really gonna try to match that energy. He plays the same video game that Kate is and whoops her ass, and, you know, just shows how really tough he is, because he's really good at video games.
Well, it looks like I'm on top.
That evening, it's time to get a little revenge, a la hacking style. Our main character, Dade, hacks into the school sprinkler system because they're hooked up to the network for some reason. I guess if it's electrical, it can be hacked. Also, if it's made of metal, it can be hacked. If it can conduct any sort of electricity at all, it can be hacked. And then the next day at school, he pulls out an umbrella at the perfect time and says,
Pool on the roof must have a leak.
And it makes him so popular. And there is a lesson to be learned here. Always hack your school. Nope, that's not it. Never not hack. Back at the club that evening, now that he's a part of the hacking group, which there's so many hackers in this one high school. I didn't know hacking was that easy. I didn't know that everybody did it. But I looked up some facts and get this. If you look to the person on your left and you look to the person on your right, odds are they're both hackers. And they go over these hacking books, Hacking for Dummies.
International Unix environments, computer security criteria, DoD standards, Devil Book, Unix Bible, the Red Book, NSA Trusted Networks.
Anyway, they give Joey kind of a hard time, like, nice try, Pipsqueak, you're not quite good enough. Go for a big company, you know, make a splash. Joey has to prove himself, so he hacks into this really large company, the password being God, and I think the security guard is Penn from Penn and Teller. Anyway, so he's cruising through this cyber city, and it actually looks like a city with buildings and roads, and it's kind of fun to fly around in. He downloads a garbage file, and this is supposed to be his proof that he's a big-time hacker now. Ken realizes that this big company is being hacked, so he calls his boss, who is also a hacker, because everybody's a hacker, we know this, and whose name is the Plague, comes down to the office and counter-hacks and traces where it's coming from.
He's gone.
Did you get a trace?
Yeah, we got him.
Good.
Cops bust Joey. They confiscate his computer, and in walks the head of cybersecurity, who actually doesn't really know anything about computers. But it's his job to catch hackers, so we shouldn't question that. The Plague sets up the hackers as having planted a virus that's going to spill an oil tanker or something. I don't really know what it does. He wants the hackers to take the fall for this virus. Meanwhile, Phantom Freak and Serial Killer take Dade, or Zero Cool, over to their other hacker friend's house, Lord Nikon. It is unclear if he is also a teenager. They end up watching some TV and hanging out, and the hacker show Hack the Planet with Razor and Blade comes on the TV.
Welcome to our show, Hack the Planet. Hack the Planet! And for those late.
Somehow, Razor and Blade are super well known with the giant hacker community, and they're kind of famous, actually. Alright, so all the high school aged friends go to a party, but they're not interested in partying. They end up going into the office and playing with the laptop there, because, again, this is the 90s and that laptop is so cool. Dade instantly falls in love with the laptop. He starts hacking on it, and Kate is pretty impressed with his typing skills. They have a moment. They might kind of like each other, but they'll never admit it.
Are you challenging me?
Name your stakes.
Dade sorta accidentally on purpose challenges Kate to a hacking war, a hack-off. If she is the winner, then he will be her slave. It's not what you think. She just wants him to do like printing and filing and faxing for her, a high school student. And if Dade wins, then she has to go on a date with him. They both agree, and so it is on. And they're going to go up against the Secret Service agent or cyber agent or whatever he is, Richard Gill, to see who can mess with him the most. Kate goes first, and she makes it so that Richard's credit card doesn't work anymore. Man, that's so inconvenient. And then it's Dade's turn, and he puts out a personal ad for him.
I know where you can stick it. I know where you can stick it.
I just want to lick your earlobes. I want to lick your lips. I want to lick your... That's why they call me Stag.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I'm trying to spank you with my hand.
Spank your ass.
Yeah. Turn you over and make you
It's Kate's turn again, and she puts a bunch of traffic violations on his file, so he gets arrested even though he didn't do anything wrong. We go back to Dade, and he makes it so that Richard Gill is deceased. Now might be a really good time to let you know what the tagline of this movie is. Their only crime was curiosity.
You sure about that?
Was that? their only crime.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
You're right. I don't see anything wrong here. After all that, the crew decides that it's a tie between the two.
What's the score?
Time. I win. You wear a dress on our date.
And if I win, so do you.
Deal.
All right, so Joey gets out of jail. He grabs the disc that he had copied the garbage file onto, and he gives it to his friends. But then the freak, he gets busted. So then they're like, there's gotta be something about this disc. There's something on it for sure. From jail, the freak contacts his friends.
Hello? Hey, it's me. Freak? I'm freaking.
And tells them where they can find the disc.
And this stuff I didn't even do, like get this, inserting some virus called Da Vinci. It's in that place where I put that thing that time.
And Kate, as much as she doesn't want to do this, takes serial killer's advice and they go to Dade because he's like, man, Dade's a good hacker. He can help us out. And they don't really want to work with each other. And he confesses, I can't do this. I'm crash override. And they're like, oh man, that's heavy. But then he realizes he needs to help his friends and he's in. And then in a series of flying through cyber cities and these weird coily creatures that look like bacteria in a microscope, they find out that it's a worm. It's nibbling up pieces of information. And they realized in all this hacking that the plague is the one that planted the virus to steal money and is going to make the hackers take the fall for it. And they need to enlist some help to go up against him. They contact Razor and Blade, who are like the funnest characters in this movie. And they're like, yeah, you guys need help. Let's do this. Let's take them out. Nobody messes with us. Mess with the best and die like the rest. Because they're totally innocent 30-year-old high school students. They set up their computers at these payphones so that it's harder for their IP addresses to be hacked. You know what? Giving this movie a really hard time. Why don't we just talk to somebody that would actually know something about this? Are you a computer programmer?
Kinda.
Okay, but you do programming.
I do.
Okay. Can you speak to the accuracy of the hacking in the movie Hackers?
Oh, it's trash. It's the nothing about it is right. There's no way there's like this virtual world where you're flying around inside of a computer. That's not the way it is.
Okay, so I was going to ask, is it possible that that part is like a metaphor for like a server room or something?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it could be.
Okay, but accurate, no.
Accurate, hell no. The most accurate show I've seen is Mr. Robot. That's probably the best.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
All right, well, there you have it. Plausible that it's just symbolic. Okay, let's move on. The hackers go up against this big corporation in a big fight to finish downloading the file so they have the complete information to give the authorities. And they're just throwing viruses back and forth at each other and destroying them. And, you know, these antivirus programs have never worked so hard. And then we have this sequence of them spinning around while hacking, which is just great. Love that scene. All the friends are there. Razor and Blade have enlisted some help as well.
They're going for the Colonel.
Colonel who?
The system command processor. It's the brain.
But one by one, they get picked off. They're getting shut out of the system.
Man, there's too many garbage files. I need more time.
Dade defeats the virus so that the oil tanker won't spill anymore, and the plague has been outdone, out-hacked, outmatched. And they're so happy they did it. They found what they needed. They beat the bad guy. And then the cops bust them. Dade throws the evidence into a garbage can and then yells to serial killer.
They're trashing our rights, man! They're trashing the flow of data! They're trashing!
Somehow he understands exactly what he's talking about. And he goes and fishes through the garbage and finds the hard disk. Serial killer uses that information to get onto the TV that exonerates the hackers and shows who the real bad guys are. And then at the end, the friends decide that Dade is the winner, so Dade and Kate go on a date, and she is wearing a dress. They go swimming in this pool, and I don't know whose pool it is, and it doesn't matter because it's romantic. Somebody hacks the apartment building nearby and makes the windows light up and say crash and burn, crash override, and acid burn. It's sweet. It's not illegal, just curiosity, but that was their only crime.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
If you've enjoyed this retelling of hackers in The Sims, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And leave a comment letting me know which movie you'd like to see me retell in The Sims. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!
Superhero-like even.
Give me some rope.